They say the craziest secrets are hidden underground, and that's especially true for time capsules. Do you want to see what the psychiatrists from the late 50s thought about the development of science? Maybe you want to know what kinds of skeletons they found hidden inside of a trunk. Well, if you do, here are the top 10 scariest time capsules from the past. So let's dive right into the world of creepy and bizarre, shall we? Number 10. The mental hospital tapes. We told you we had some crazy stories to share with you, and we already told you a little bit about this first pick. The mental hospital tapes found in Indianapolis Psychiatric Hospital will shake you to your core. The Bar Treatment Center, as they called it, was built in 1958, and the doctors from the institution wanted to leave a small memento from their time. The construction crew wanted to destroy the building and build new businesses like residential complexes in its place. But they found something that smashed the like button if you haven't done so already. But no, it was actually something that shook them to their core. It was a time capsule that changed the way we viewed the late 50s. Instead of burying some newspapers and books, they instead opted in for the crazier approach. They recorded a tape of the building's blueprint, the opening ceremony, plus a video of two psychiatrists talking about the future of the field. Aside from mentioning the electroshock therapy as the main method of treatment, this video is creepy on all sorts of levels, plus the fact that the audio from half of the tape has been damaged doesn't help. Number 9. Soviet Time Capsule. We're all a little jealous of you all who are celebrating the centenary of our Soviet motherland. You are the lucky generation. Wars are just history. You are talking with representatives of other galaxies about scientific and cultural collaborations. Man, these Soviets had some high hopes for the future. For the centenary of the Soviet Revolution from 1917, numerous time capsules were unearthed in Russia. Many of them held hidden messages about the hopes and dreams of the Soviet citizens for the future. Sadly, almost none of them came true. Those up there were just some of the predictions about the SSSR and the year 2017. Most of these were written in 1967, marking half of a century from the revolution. They were destined to be opened on the 100th year anniversary from this communist utopia, but sadly, it didn't live to see the light of day. Anyhow, we can't help but think about how we let them down. Instead of talking to representatives from other galaxies, we're still trying to figure out a vaccine for COVID-19. The world economy is in a rut, and people are being fired left and right. Not exactly what they had in mind at the time. Number 8. Nazi Time Capsule. While building an educational center for the young boys from the ages of 23 to 26, who were at least 63 inches tall and didn't wear glasses, they deposited a time capsule which contained some peculiar things. The center was constructed in Falkenberg, and the Nazi Party planned to use this educational center for indoctrination of Germany's future Nazi leaders. But what did the capsule contain? Well, to answer that question, we will look at what the Nazis wanted held dear to their heart. The first was their Führer, so 2 copies of Mein Kampf were a must. Then followed newspapers from April 1934. After that came the photos of prominent leaders from the time, and of course, the bronze and silver Nazi coins. Oh, and we almost forgot, there was a wax-sealed scroll containing a speech that was given during the opening ceremony. The capsule was encased in a steel cylinder, and it managed to stand the test of time for 82 years. One of the archaeologists said that the documents and artifacts were so well preserved, it seemed like they were placed there one day earlier. Number 7. Beyond creepy child messages on the floor. Imagine buying the house of your dreams and finally moving in. Got that? Good. Now imagine that you want to do some remodeling in the house. So you remove the ugly carpet, but what you find underneath is a time capsule. And not just a time capsule containing some old books and newspapers. Oh, no. Here, you find the doodles of 2 little girls and the events that took place in the house. First, they introduced themselves, which is pretty nice. Their names are Lauren and Megan. That's fine. Now, after that, The messages you read are so creepy they will make you consider moving instantly. In the next colorful lines, the girls start to tell you about their 2 dead dogs and their 2 dead cats, the arguments they had in the house, and the dented wall of those arguments, which makes us wonder if Daddy is all that nice. And the icing on the cake came when the little girls started talking about their deceased war veteran grandpa, who might come and visit you at night. And finally, as if all that wasn't creepy enough, they say the ghosts in the house hate it when you play CSI New York. No joke. Number 6. Kyo Time Capsule with human blood inside. The name, the contents, and everything around this time capsule is creepy as hell. Just listen to this. Back in the early 2000s, there was a notion about the launch of a satellite into space and filling it with about 24 billion pages of text. That would just be insane. The launch date? It was supposed to be 2003, and since then, they've postponed it every single year, and it still awaits the launch. Now let's talk about other contents. One of the craziest proposals of this project was a blood diamond that would be contained inside. The satellite was supposed to house a diamond with a drop of human blood inside, and the human genos inscribed on the state of it. This would have been intended for the civilization that would inhabit the Earth 50,000 years in the future. So, are we the only ones that think there is something seriously wrong with keeping blood in a time capsule? Number 5. Greg Wilkinson's vision. When the house Greg Wilkinson lived in was being renovated, he slipped in a little time capsule in the wall. It was a letter that Greg wrote detailing predictions about the future and what would happen to the world. The man's eerily accurate predictions make us think that he was actually Nostradamus. All kidding aside, in 1995, he wrote that by 2060, China would become a global superpower. There would be a holy war between Islam and Christianity. Enter the Iraq and Afghanistan war. Then he said that the internet would become pretty big by that time. No argument there. Number 4. Abandon all hope, ye who enter here. Now, when a guy went looking inside his grandmother's house, he found a hidden safe at the bottom of the wardrobe. He asked his grandma if she knew something about the safe, and she was just as surprised as he was. They quickly rushed to open it and find what Granddaddy wanted to hide. The first thing they found was a note from Dante's Inferno saying, "Abandon all hope, ye who enter here." Next, they found a piece of cloth with a Chinese symbol for double happiness. Another weird thing, wrapped inside the cloth were a pocket watch, stamps, a silver lamp, and some pictures of his ancestors. Number 3. Marthe de Florian's apartment. Now, this time capsule is not like the rest. Marthe de Florian was part of the French aristocracy, and she lived in the heart of Paris with her son. When she died in 1939, her son inherited the apartment, and in 1966, her father died as well, and the apartment was left to Solène Beaujon. You should know that Solène fled from Paris during the Nazi invasion in World War II. Since then, she only returned to the apartment upon her father's death to clean it up. For 44 years, the apartment was left unattended, and in 2010, Solène passed away. When the government repossessed the apartment, they found something incredible inside. It was a portrait by Marthe de Florian, done by Giovanni Brodini, and when auctioned, the portrait fetched a price of, get this, 3 million euros. Number 2. Frozen in time. Literally. During a yard sale, one of the neighbors bought a freezer for $30. However, the seller told a lady to avoid opening it, as there are some things that she would need to take out. Feeling like she couldn't wait anymore, she opened the freezer and screamed in terror. The woman from North Carolina was actually really terrified when she found out the frozen remains of an elderly lady. She immediately called 911 and told them about the quote-unquote find. The police rushed to her door and realized that it was the neighbor's mother that had been cut into pieces and frozen solid. Number 1. Baby skeletons. While two women were cleaning an abandoned building in Los Angeles in 2010, they found a truck that contained some gruesome time capsules. The first time capsule was from 1932 and the second was from 1934. Both of them, however, were placed in black doctor's bags. When they opened the first one, they found the petrified remains of something that looked like a fetus, at which point they immediately called the police. When the cops arrived, they opened the two bags and realized that the quote-unquote time capsules were two babies that were wrapped up like mummies and left to rot. The investigators assumed that the wife from James M. Barrie, the man who wrote Peter Pan, George Knapp, killed those two children and buried them. And on that note, we end this video. But hey, do you know of any other crazy time capsules that were found recently? You can tell us in the comment section below. And if you'd like more videos like these, don't forget to subscribe to our channel and hit the bell icon so you never miss any of them. And as always, thanks for watching, guys.